not done well.
All right, the Giants finished this season a disappointing 5-11. Things aren't completely bleak, though. Saquon Barkley became the third rookie running back in NFL history to post 2,000 yards from scrimmage. However, the big question is what's next for the quarterback, for Eli Manning. Here's what Giants general manager Dave Gettleman had to say.
I'm committed to making the best decision in the interest of the New York Football Giants. That's what I'm committed to do. We're in the evaluation process. Okay, I know that, you guys want answers now, but very frankly, I didn't come in yesterday. So my commitment is to make this team the best team it can be. And if that happens to have Eli playing quarterback, it does. So we're going to look at film. We're going to evaluate everything. Everything's on the table for us.
All right, CeCe, this is the question that Giants fans are pondering right now and throughout this offseason. Should this team bring Eli Manning back?
Well, I'm not going to make that decision today because I don't have to make that decision. Right now, I need to look at all my options. I'm going to look at every quarterback potentially who can be a free agent. And also, if there's a quarterback under contract who I feel like I could trade for, potentially, what about Mullins in San Francisco? Are they going, would they offer him up? Because, man, he's played some good football. Wouldn't cost you as much as getting a quarterback in the first round. So that draft capital can be utilized to help out the rest of this team. But Eli Manning is on the board that he could be the starting quarterback. I'm not going to make a decision today, the first week in January, when I don't have to, when there are so many options, because I believe also Giants fans could be happy drafting the #1 quarterback in college, which I believe to be Dwayne Haskins. I believe he is going to make an announcement in the next 48 hours announcing he's coming out of college football after 50 touchdowns, 14 starts. But the transition plan to Dwayne Haskins could be something, if I'm a Giants fan, something I could look forward to. A guy with a big-time arm who had 2 years of college left, not one, deciding to ease him into being a starter under Eli Manning, because I believe Eli to be one of the great gentlemen, a great mentor, and I believe that's something that he could embrace, and I believe it would be something that would help out Dwayne Haskins in starting out his pro career.
Well, and that is, if Haskins is indeed declaring, and I have no reason to doubt what C's saying, a guy that only started 1 year of college football, you want him in a position where he doesn't have to start week 1, where it's available to him, but it's not mandated, and where he is a guy to learn from, particularly if he's going to come into a market like New York, where Eli can teach him a lot of things, not just on how to play quarterback, but how to be the quarterback for the New York Giants and what that entails. I think Nick Mullins really interesting, because people, I don't know how much they were watching the Niners either, but late in the year, he played very well on a team that never gave up on their season, played well at home. How much of that is Kyle Shanahan's offense? I don't know. But Nick Mullins showed me something. I'm going to mention another quarterback from a similar part of the country if we're talking trades. You guys know I think Derek Carr is going to be available. I wonder if that's something the Giants would do. Here's my concern for them if they don't go one of those routes. I don't think Dwayne Haskins is there at #6. So, they are going to have to figure out if they're not going to go free agency quarterback, and if they do want to start turning the page from Eli, is it worth moving up in the draft? Because either Oakland or...
So you think someone is going to move ahead of the Giants? Giants are 6 now.
Here's the draft. Arizona, they're not drafting a quarterback. Yep. San Francisco, they're not drafting. The Jets, they're not drafting. The Raiders could at 4. The Bucks could at 5. The Giants could at 6. If I'm a team that needs a quarterback, I am absolutely considering calling up Arizona or San Francisco and saying, what will it take to move up? What will it take to move up and get Haskins? Because it's not like last year where it's Baker and Darnold and there's Lamar. Right. Some people like Rose. To me, it's Haskins and then an enormous drop-off. But what I did think was interesting from Gettleman, Jenna, is he was unequivocal on Odell. He said, we did not sign Odell to trade him. He didn't say, listen, it's early, all our options. He was unequivocal on that. He, for the first time in his tenure, was equivocal on Eli. We'll see. That puts Eli in a different position headed into this coming year, than he was heading into this past year.
Just out of curiosity, for other free agent options, is everything open? Guys like Teddy Bridgewater, Tyrod Taylor, are there other guys out there that you would even consider? You mentioned Carr. I'm just, what
Teddy
does the pool look
Bridgewater,
like?
and besides pulling off some type of trade. There's not guys that I see as potential. Tyrod, to me, is not the face of the New York Football Giants. That means they're going laterally compared to moving back to where they want to be in the playoffs. So I believe those few names right there will be part of the conversation.
All right, let's move on to the Houston Texans. They got big weekend plans. They're going to face division rival Indianapolis on Sunday. A lot of people surprised they're even here, given the way they started their season, losing their first 3 games. They bounced back. They won 9 games in a row. They claimed the AFC South, and they finished the season at 11-5. It's been quite a journey for this team and for Deshaun Watson, who missed all but 6 games last season. Here's more from the Texans quarterback.
Just look at the season, starting 0-3, and then, tacking on 9 and winning out, 10 of the last 12. I mean, it's everything we earned. We earned the right to be here. We earned the right to do what we did Sunday and be champs in the division. But, it's a new year, new season, and, we got to start over and try to be 1-0 this week and try to continue it. Played in a lot of big games before, in college and stuff, but, I mean, you can't really, pick college playoffs with the NFL. This is, the hardest business, top notch. It's a whole new season, whole new speed of game. So it's going to be, new for me, of course, because it's my first one, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Nick, so the Texans did what they had to do despite a very slow start to earn the spot that they're in right now. Why do we keep talking about whether this team warrants the respect that maybe some of the other playoff teams have?
Because of all the teams in the playoffs, they have as glaring of a weakness as anybody. For them, it's their offensive line. To me, that's neck and neck with the Chiefs' overall defense. For everybody knows this is a weakness. They do not have a solution for it. It has been the only thing that's been holding them back all year. But then they have additional question marks, I think, from a lot of people on a head coach standpoint and on an experience standpoint. And for all those reasons, and given the fact they are playing a team that over the last 10 weeks in Indianapolis has been as good as any team in football, not just in record, but in offensive ranking, defensive ranking, in every metric, and a team that just beat them in a very critical game that cost the Texans the 2 seed, that allowed the Colts stay alive for the division and then end up getting into the playoffs. For all those reasons, people think Indy can win this game. But I was really pleased with what Deshaun said there, because Deshaun's in a very unique position. He's the first pro quarterback to have had a lot of playoff experience in college. College football playoffs new. We haven't had it many years, and Alabama's quarterbacks aren't playing in the NFL. So Deshaun, it would have been easy for him to say, hey, listen, this is my first NFL playoff game. It's not my first playoff game. I've been to 2 college football playoff semifinals, been to 2 national championships. I know what playoff pressure is like, but he knows that's not the case. He knows that whatever he experienced, even against Alabama, that this is a different ball game for him. And it would have been, the question was setting him up to say, oh, I've played in these types of games before. And he knows better than that. And that was, to me, very telling, that even a guy with his level of big game college experience, more than any player in these playoffs, he knows, but that really doesn't matter that much come this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he said that, because all the players, all the coaches, everyone surrounding the team let the players know they don't know what they're getting ready to experience. So don't act like you know how you're preparing. Don't act like you know what the intensity is. You don't. And the veteran players, which they have there, they have 26 players that have played in 87 games. And those players are the ones that are leaning on for that experience, because the tempo, turnovers, the momentum, playing to the home crowd. I remember Denny Green telling myself and Randy Moss, we're playing at home. We need y'all to make some big plays early to get the crowd involved. Denny had never told me that. I was like, Denny, that's normally my program. That's what I like to do. But when you're playing at home, understanding that and not allowing the game just to, oh, I'm going to fill out the game. No, when you're playing at home, you want to try to create that momentum for yourself. When you're playing on the road, you play a little more conservative, not wanting to make a mistake. So I'm looking forward to him playing. I'm looking forward to seeing how does he utilize his legs, because I believe in the critical situation, 3rd down, he can't sit back there and get those 60 sacks, which he did during the regular season, highest in the NFL. I believe his ability to run. Also in the red zone, he's got to be able to utilize his legs a lot like he did in college. college, I'm looking forward to seeing, because there's a lot of pressure in the playoffs, and seeing how people respond to that pressure, that's how you create a legacy for yourself.
And one guy that we talk a lot about on this show, but I don't think gets much national attention aside from really this show, is DeAndre Hopkins. People say, oh yeah, he's a very good receiver. People, I think Chris, because of the relationship with him and because it has such respect for the hands that he has, we put a little closer spotlight on him. He has 115 catches this year with 0 drops. That seems impossible. I'm sure you're going to tell me it's not, but it's a remarkable number.
Yeah, I had to watch those numbers. It seems impossible.
Okay, so you agree with me that those numbers feel a little fudged, but that's what the NFL, I think it was Next Gen Stats released yesterday. Whatever it is, he is having a spectacular season. This could be a bit of a coming out party nationally for DeAndre.
And for a long time, people said I had the best hands in the business. And Larry Fitzgerald, he seemed to take that over as having the best hands in the business. And now DeAndre Hopkins has taken that over from Larry Fitzgerald as having the best hands in the NFL.
Nice. All right, take a break. Coming up,